Hey everybody, this is Lorelia, and today I want to talk to you about bankruptcy and when is it a good time to file for bankruptcy. And I know you may be wondering, well, wait, Lorelia, what are you talking about? Are you now trying to recommend that individuals should file for bankruptcy? And I know you may be saying to yourself, okay, here I am talking about all this financial literacy, educating yourself, but yet and still I'm promoting bankruptcy. Hear me out. I had a student who's in my weekly class, and the question that she asked was that I'm just going to pick a number. If I have a $20,000 outstanding judgment that was put against me, what will happen if the creditor was to levy my bank account because she doesn't have any assets? And I said, you know what, that's a good question. Because currently, right now, we're in the process of having it removed off of her credit report. So, with that being said, I've said in so many videos is that even though you get the judgment removed off of your credit report, the creditor will still possibly try to collect on that outstanding debt. Because, see, you have to understand the cycle of how debts work. When debts go into different cycles, and without making this video really long, I'm going to give you the abbreviated version. First, it began as an original creditor. That is who you originally had the contractual agreement to get the debt. From there, whatever happened, life happened, you were unable to pay for it. It then evolved into a debt that a debt collector has. At that point, the debt collector tried several times to contact you with no, without being, what's the word I'm looking for? Without any success. And then from there, they decided to sue you in court. And since you never responded, the judgment became what is called a default judgment. Many of the judgments that are on consumer reports, your credit consumer report, are default judgments. And the reason why I say many of times that's the case, because if you knew what to do in terms of knowing the law, how to apply the law to your situation, you wouldn't have got the judgment in the first place. And I'm very transparent with people. There are many times when people have contacted me and they said, okay, Laura, you know what? The information you're sharing is real good, but this is my situation. I have a creditor that is suing me in court, and I have to be to court in 2 weeks. And you know what I tell that person? There's nothing that I can do. There is nothing that no credit professional can do. Because even if that person was to help you, they are now acting in the place of an attorney. Now, I would know what to do. If that had happened to me, I have went to court, whereas I went, which is called pro se, whereas you're representing yourself. And keep in mind, many of times the creditors don't even show up, so the cases get kicked out. But there are times when some local debt collectors that may be in your state, it is advantageous for them to show up, and a lot of times they do. And even as in that case, you still have a chance to fight it. That's what happened to my husband. There was a local creditor who was trying to collect on a debt. He had to go to court. I told him what to say, and he followed what I said, and so the court threw the debt out, and so he did not get a judgment. But if someone calls me that I have never worked with, I do not want to act as an attorney. And so, since I do not have a license to practice law, I have to be very careful how I advise individuals. And so that's why I always tell people, and I told a student of mine, is that if you become knowledgeable, that's the whole point of why I really push knowledge and understanding how the law works. You won't get yourself backed up against the wall. Now, I know you may be wondering, okay, Lorraine was saying all that, where does bankruptcy come in? I told her that in the event that creditor puts a levy against your house, against your um, uh, uh, bank account, and your bank account gets levied, the only way that that levy is going to be released is either you have the 20 G's to pay it off, or number two, you get a bankruptcy attorney, and during the bankruptcy process, a lot of times that debt will be discharged. The attorney can lift it. It is what it is. Now, are there things that can prevent that to happen? Oh, yes, of course. But a lot of times, and many of the times, by the time individuals get to me, they are too far gone. But what I do instruct them is that going forward, this is what you need to do to prevent it from happening again. Now, like I said, no credit professional who is not an attorney can tell you what to do. And if they do, they are acting as an attorney. And that's a very fine line that I don't take no parts in. There's a difference in I'm working with someone, I'm teaching them the law, they get an understanding of the law, they build their confidence, and now they know that they are armed with knowledge and confidence to go and represent them in the court of law. Because that many people do that, because now they have enough knowledge to go pro se and go into the courts. But someone who has no knowledge, they just see a video of mine, they call me up, they say I got to go to the court next week. I have a creditor who's trying to sue me. Ain't nothing I could do, because you don't have enough time to get an understanding of the law for me to help you. And in that case, I am acting as an attorney. So I'm going to call a spade a spade. There are times when you have to file the bankruptcy. That is a sad reality. Unless that person has the money to pay them, to pay the creditor, if not, bankruptcy is the only option. I mean, who would want a 20, like I said, it wasn't a $20,000 debt, but it was in the thousands. Who would want that debt against their bank account? And now you're owing the bank. Like I said, I know because I've had a debt collector who levied my bank account, and I was fortunate it was only $2,200. I had the money in the bank, they took it out. It is what it is. I'm being honest, I'm being transparent. Many credit professionals do not want to tell you the real story, but any credit professional who is not an attorney and they are instructing you on what to do, they at that point they are acting as an attorney. And that can really mess some people up. But I'm the type that I would rather educate someone, arm them with knowledge, then once they get confident with understanding the law, then I know that they now can represent themselves because they have knowledge of the law. They'll file the reports, they'll go pro se. So that's all I have. That's all I have for today. But I will say this: if you're someone who wants to arm yourself with knowledge, I do a class every week. If you go to www.diycredithub.com, you'll learn more. It'll be under this video. If you are just tiptoeing, there's a free book that I can provide to you, written by myself, became an Amazon bestseller. I give it away for free. All you have to do is pay shipping and handling. The information will be down below, www.yourmoneymentor.com/free book. Until the next time, look forward to talking to you in the next video. Bye-bye.